Hey everyone, and welcome back to NerdVana Nexus. It's your boy Ren, here to rock your world. Literally. This is another episode of Superpower Breakdown, and after feeling the chill with cryokinesis, today we are digging deep, unearthing the secrets, and feeling the tremors of one of the most foundational and devastatingly powerful abilities in all of fiction, Geokinesis. That's right, the power to command the very earth beneath our feet. We're talking about raising mountains with a gesture, summoning earthquakes on demand, encasing foes in inescapable rock prisons, bending metal to your will, and even tapping into the molten heart of our planet to control lava. If you've ever wanted to reshape the battlefield, become an unmovable object, or just appreciate the sheer brutal force of nature's building blocks, this deep dive is for you. So, are you ready to feel the earth shake? Let's get started. Alright, let's lay the foundation. Geo, from the Greek ge, means earth, and kinesis, as we've already established, means movement and control. Put those two together, and boom, geokinesis is the awesome combination. The beautiful thing about geokinesis is that it's terrifyingly diverse, and when I mean diverse, I mean it. It's not just making mud pies, folks. True geokinesis in fiction often encompasses your basic Terra kinesis, which is control over common earth, dirt, soil, and sand, lithokinesis, which is a more specialized control over rock, stone, and boulders. Then we have arena kinesis, or sand manipulation, a specialized subset, often with incredible precision and versatility, as we've seen with people like Gaara and Crocodile. Then we have metallokinesis, or metal bending, the ability to manipulate metals, often by controlling the trace unrefined earth within them. We have crystallokinesis, or crystal manipulation, which is control over crystalline structures, gems, and minerals, and even, to some extent, pyrokinesis through magma and lava control. However, on this aspect, it is the most extreme. Only advanced geokinetics can tap into the Earth's molten core. Symbolically, Earth often represents stability, strength, resilience, stubbornness, the unyielding but also a raw, untamed, destructive force. Geokinetics can often embody these traits, from unmovable defenders to cataclysmic destroyers. How do geokinetics get their power? We're going to start with elemental bending, the most iconic. Earthbending is a core discipline. And then we have mutations or genetic gifts, characters like Terra from Teen Titans. Moving along, we have magical affinities and spells, mages specializing in earth magic in fantasy settings. Think about the shinobi from Naruto. Although they're not mages, ninjutsu is just freaking ninja magic after all. And lastly, we have divine connection to earth spirits, characters that are empowered by or descended from earth deities. Mastering geokinesis means you're not just a combatant, you're a battlefield architect, a living siege engine, and a walking natural disaster all rolled into one. So, what kind of world-breaking, bone-crushing chaos can a top-tier geokinetic unleash? Let's excavate their toolkit. On the offensive side, we have rock projectiles, from rapid stonefire bullets and sharp rock shards to launching car-sized boulders or even entire cliff faces. Think Toph launching massive stone fists. And then, we have earth spikes and pillars, impaling foes or creating obstacles by rapidly erupting jagged spikes or massive pillars of stone from the ground. And then, on the more brutal side, we have fissures and chasms, literally ripping the earth apart to trap enemies, creating barriers or swallowing them whole. And then, to wrap this up, there's quicksand and mud traps, turning solid ground into treacherous quicksand or inescapable mud pits. On the defensive aspect, we have stone walls and barriers, conjuring immense, durable walls of rock or earth for instant, powerful defection. The Dai Li were masters of this. And then we also have earthen armor. Once again, why make a wall when you can become the wall? Encasing oneself in thick, protective rock armor, making them incredibly resilient to physical attacks. Some can even enhance their strength with this. And then on the utility side of defense, we have creating fortifications and shelter, raising entire forts and bunkers from the ground, as well as manipulating the ground for evasion, sinking into the earth, or quickly burrowing for surprise assault and avoiding attacks. Now, moving on to specialized geokinesis, and we're starting things off with seismic sense, Toph's bread and butter. seeing through vibrations in the earth, gaining 360-degree awareness, detecting lives through heartbeats, and making it almost impossible for people to ambush you on solid ground. Keeping the rock moving, we have sand manipulation, Gaara and Crocodile's domain, creating sentient sand shields, crushing sand coffins, massive sand tsunamis, sand clones, and incredibly precise sand projectiles. The versatility of sand is often underrated and terrifying. We absolutely cannot forget about metal bending. As pioneered by Toph, controlling the impurities in metal, this means ripping apart tanks, using metal cables as whips, forming sharp metal projectiles, creating metal armor, and even sensing metallic objects. This fundamentally changes how geokinetics interact with industrialized worlds. Moving on to prettier pastures, there's crystal manipulation. Some geokinetics can control crystals, forming incredibly hard and sharp constructs, refracting light, or even using their unique vibrational properties for attacks and defense. Think characters like Diamond Head, or some crystal-based Pokemon. On a truly cataclysmic scale, we have earthquake generation, causing localized or even region-wide earthquakes, shaking cities to their foundation and causing massive destruction. This is the ultimate area denial ability. Keeping on with the destruction, we have lava bending. This is where Geokinesis gets terrifyingly hot, tapping into volcanic power, controlling molten rock, creating lava waves, magma blasts, or turning the ground into a volcanic hellscape. Bolin and Gazan from Legend of Korra showcases devastating power. It's Geokinesis with a pyrokinetics destructive fury. And last but not least, we have large-scale terraforming and mountain moving. Truly god-tier geokinetics can raise or move entire mountains, creating massive canyons or fundamentally altering the landscape at a colossal scale. Think King Boomy, casually retaking Omashu. The sheer spectrum from precisely manipulating a single grain of sand to causing a continental earthquakes. Geokinesis is brutally effective. But even the power to command continents isn't without its fault lines. Geokinesis, for all of its might, has some critical weaknesses and limitations. And the biggest one, in my opinion, is the environmental dependency. This is a big one. No earth, no rock, no sand, no metal. A geokinetic is often severely nerfed or even powerless, stuck on a wooden ship in the vast ocean, or in mid-air with no projectiles. Or in a purely artificial non-earthen environment. It's usually a death sentence. Toph on sand initially struggled until she learned how to sandbend. Lack of mobility. Earth is heavy and inherently static. While some geokinetics can use Earth to launch themselves or create quick platforms, kind of like Earth surfing, they are generally less mobile than, say, an aerokinetic or many energy projectors. They are often grounded, literally. This can make them vulnerable to faster, more agile opponents. In a more elemental matchup style, Earth is very weak to water, air, and things that can pierce. It's weak to water because powerful water attacks can erode stone, turn Earth into mud, or bypass solid defenses by seeping through cracks. A skilled hydrokinetic can be a major problem for a geokinetic. While Earth is strong, powerful and focused wind attacks, like Aang's air slicers, can chip away at or even shatter rock. Wind can also disperse sand attacks, making it hard to aim projectiles. While rock armor is tough, sufficiently powerful piercing attacks or overwhelmingly brutish strength can still break through. Adamantium claws versus rock, you do the math. Another major weakness for geokinetics is control and precision versus raw power. Manipulating massive quantities of Earth takes immense concentration and energy. A lapse in focus can cause your constructs to crumble. Oftentimes, there is a trade-off. Many geokinetics excel at colossal, destructive feats, but lack fine control for intricate manipulations like metal bending initially for many. As it goes for standard elemental powers, mental and emotional states are often tied to your powers. Geokinesis is no different. Earth powers are often tied to stability, stubbornness, and a strong will. If a geokinetic's emotional state is shattered by fear, doubt, or overwhelming grief, their connection to the earth and their control can weaken or become erratic. They need to be a rock emotionally. Another Achilles heel is the slow casting time for many large constructs. Raising a mountain takes more casting time than shooting a quick fireball. opponents might not give you the time needed for your biggest moves. So while you can build a fortress, you need to make sure your opponent doesn't just fly away or even wash you away before you're done. Alright, let's pay tribute to these legends, the titans who have literally moved heaven and earth, or at least a lot of earth. These are the geokinetics who've left their mark, and we're starting this off with the GOAT, the original badass, blind, yet she saw more than anyone through seismic sense, invented metal bending, took on armies. Her raw power, her unyielding attitude, her incredible skill and creativity with earth and metal make her the undisputed queen. From delicate sand sculptures to massive earth waves, she did it all. Next up, a feared Jinchuriki turned stoic Kazekage. Gaara's mastery over sand is legendary. His absolute defense, sand coffin, and sand burial are pretty great. His giant sand tsunamis and ability to fight with such deadly precision using a seamlessly formless element is awe-inspiring. His character arc is also one of the most beautiful. King Bumi is next up. This mad genius was over 100 years old and one of the most powerful earthbenders alive. He retook Omashu by himself, throwing entire buildings. His playful exterior hid his terrifyingly raw power and incredibly intuitive earthbending. Next up on the list is Terra from Teen Titans. A tragic figure, but her geokinetic abilities were off the charts. She could manipulate vast quantities of earth and rock, create slides and shields, unleash devastating attacks. Her emotional instability often made her powers even more dangerous and unpredictable. One for the charts for sure. We can't forget about a classic villain like Sandman. His ability to transform his body into sand, create sand constructs, disperse and reform makes him incredibly durable and hard to defeat. The sheer scale of sand he can control is immense. Next thing up is Ben Grimm, also known as The Thing. While he's not a bender in the traditional sense, his entire physiology is a super dense rock-like organic material, giving him incredible strength and durability. He is the unmovable object. It's Geokinesis embodied. It can't be a Kinesis video without mentioning Pokemon. Tyranitar, Groudon, Golem, Rhyperior, Excadrill, Landorus, Crocodile, Onix, and Steelix. These Pokemon showcase everything from raw physical power, devastating earthquakes, game-changing stealth rocks, to incredibly defensive bulk. Terrakion, the cavern Pokemon, is a legendary force of rock and fighting. Wrapping up our list of iconic users is going to be Bolin and Gazan, two lava benders from Legend of Korra. These two really showcase the terrifying offensive potential of lava bending. Bolin's surprising discovery and Gazan's almost casual mastery of turning Earth into molten death was a huge threat. Who's your rock solid favorite? Did any earth-shattering characters get left in the dust? Let me know below. This is another new section I have, and I'm going to call it Subkinesis Spotlight. If a power has cool sub-abilities, I'll weave it into a section. That being said, Geokinesis isn't just one thing. Its sub-disciplines are where things get really specialized and awesome. To start off this new section, I have metal bending. We've gushed about Toph, but think about its implications. In a world with technology, vehicles, and metal structures, a metal bender is king. Kuvira from Legend of Korra took this to an extreme, creating an entire metal army and a giant freaking mech. It's precise, it's versatile, from disabling machines to crafting intricate tools or deadly whips. It truly evolved what earthbending can actually do. Next up on the list, sandbending. Gaara being the icon is obvious, but sandbenders in Avatar's Seawang Desert showed its unique style born of necessity. It's more fluid than traditional earthbending, allowing for rapid attacks, suffocating traps, and incredible defensive shields that can reform almost instantly. It can be both overwhelmingly powerful and incredibly subtle. Wrapping things up in this new section is lava bending. This is a rare and terrifying skill. It takes geokinesis to a destructive extreme. Bolin and Gazan both showed us it's not just about melting rock, it's about controlling that molten flow, creating waves of lava, instant hardened obsidian, or even turning the entire battlefield into a volcanic death trap. It's the ultimate offensive expression of earth power, combining raw force with intense heat. So, after digging through the bedrock of geokinesis, what's the final NerdVana Nexus verdict? This power is without a doubt brutally powerful. It might not always have the flash of pyrokinesis or the immediate cool factor of cryokinesis for some, but in terms of raw defensive capability, battlefield control, and the potential for overwhelmingly offensive force, Geokinesis stands as a true titan among elemental powers. The ability to command the very ground your enemies stand on, to raise fortresses, summon earthquakes on demand, and even control lava. This is just insane. If I had this power, oh man. First, no more potholes on my street, or any street. I'd fix them. Then, definitely building the ultimate gaming setup out of carved stone, complete with a rock throne. And for dealing with those pesky video game enemies, just open a chasm beneath them. Problem solved. Or summon a small localized earthquake during a particularly tense boss fight just to add the drama. So, what's my official NerdVana Nexus rating for Geokinesis? I'm giving this earth-shattering ability a rock-solid 4.5 out of 5. It's reliable, it's strategic, it's incredibly strong, and when a master geokinetic unleashes their full potential, they can literally reshape the world. But that's just my 2 cents. Or 2 pebbles. Anyway, who's your favorite geokinetic? The one who truly rocks your world? Did Toph's metal bending blow your mind? Or does Gaara's sand mastery reign supreme? Do you agree with my rating? Or would you place Geokinesis even higher? Get those comments quaking. Let's shake things up. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and felt the true power of the earth, make sure to crush that like button, subscribe to NerdVana Nexus for more superpower breakdowns, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next earth-shattering episode. Until next time, stay grounded, stay awesome, and this is your captain, signing out.